I've spent a lot of time battling weeds in my own garden, and I've tried just about every trick and tool you can think of. Some work great, others are a complete waste of time. Over the years, I've narrowed it down to 5 tools that actually make a difference. If you need to clear beds fast, nothing beats the Rogue Garden Hoe. For weeds with deep roots that always grow back, the Fiskars 4-claw weeder pulls them out clean. In raised beds or around flowers, I trust the Fiskars Ergo hand weeder for precision. When I want to save my back, I reach for Grampa's weeder. And for driveways and patios, the WORX cordless weed sweeper saves me hours. These are the tools I've kept after years of trial and error, and they cover just about every weed problem you'll run into. Rogue Garden Hoe 575G. If you've got a vegetable patch, rows of flowers, or really any area where weeds sprout up constantly, a hoe is the fastest way to stay on top of it. The Rogue Garden Hoe 575G is built like a tank, and it's one of the sharpest I've used. The head is made from recycled steel, and it's sharpened on all 3 sides, so no matter which way you swing or pull, it cuts clean. Instead of yanking weeds one by one, you just glide the hoe under the surface, and it slices through stems and roots in seconds. I've covered entire garden beds in less than half the time it would take me by hand. The nice thing is, it doubles as a soil prep tool too. If you're turning over a bed, loosening compacted soil, or mixing in compost, the Rogue Hoe handles it without bending or chipping. The trade-off is, it doesn't pull deep-rooted weeds out completely. You'll probably see dandelions or dock come back if you only skim them. But if your main frustration is constant new weeds popping up and you want speed and efficiency, this is the tool you'll keep reaching for every week. Fiskars 4-claw weeder. Everyone's dealt with those weeds that just won't quit. Dandelions, thistles, plantains, where you pull them and a week later they're back because the taproot's still in the ground. That's where the Fiskars 4-claw weeder really shines. It's designed with serrated claws at the bottom, and all you do is step on the foot pedal, push it into the ground, twist, and lift. The claws grab onto the root, and you pull the whole thing out in one shot. No chemicals, no sprays, and no bending down with a trowel trying to dig around it. What I like most is the long handle. You can stand upright while you're working, which means no sore knees or back after an hour in the yard. And there's a little release mechanism on the top, so once you pull a weed, you just eject it into a bucket. Now, if you've ever filled a 5-gallon bucket with dandelions in one session, you know how satisfying that is. Now, it's not the fastest tool if you're clearing a big field. It's more of a precision tool for lawns and specific problem areas. But when you're sick of weeds coming back because the roots are still there, this is the tool that actually solves the problem. In tighter spaces, raised beds, or around delicate plants, I usually switch over to a hand weeder. The Fiskars Ergo hand weeder is small, simple, and one of those tools that doesn't look fancy but ends up being something you use constantly. The curved metal head is designed to slide right under the crown of the weed and lever it out, root and all. Because it's small, you can get in close to your vegetables or flowers without disturbing the plants you actually want to keep. The grip makes a bigger difference than you think. Fiskars designed it with an angled, cushioned handle that doesn't dig into your palm even if you're working for a while. I've used cheaper hand weeders where your hand starts cramping after 20 minutes. This one just feels natural to hold. I like to use it when I'm doing more detailed weeding, like pulling chickweed out of a lettuce bed or crabgrass around perennials. It's not for covering big areas, but for precision work where you want control and accuracy, this is the go-to tool. Grampa's Weeder Stand-Up Tool. One of the most practical tools if you hate kneeling or bending over is Grampa's Weeder. This design has been around for over 100 years, and it hasn't changed much because it just works. It's a long wooden handle with a lever system and a metal claw at the bottom. You position it over the weed, push it into the soil, tilt the handle back, and the leverage pulls the weed right out. It's almost effortless, and you stay standing the whole time. What makes it special is how comfortable it is to use. I've recommended it to older gardeners and people with back issues because it takes away the strain. It's slower compared to a hoe if you're clearing a big area, but for lawns, pathways, or gardens where you just want to pluck weeds one at a time without kneeling, it's perfect. The leverage design gives you more pulling power than you'd get by hand, so even weeds with strong roots come out cleaner. It's one of those tools that feels old-fashioned, but once you try it, you'll see why people keep it in their shed for decades. And for those who want a modern option with the least amount of physical work, the WORX 20-volt cordless weed sweeper is worth looking into. It's basically a powered brush system that clears weeds, moss, and debris from patios, driveways, and even between pavers. Instead of crouching down and scraping by hand, you just walk it over the surface and let the motorized brush do the work. Since it's cordless and runs on a battery, you're not tied to an outlet or dragging around an extension cord. It's not really for garden beds or lawns. It's specifically for those paved areas where weeds creep in. But if that's your problem area, this tool will save you a lot of time and hassle. So those are the 5 weed removal tools I keep coming back to. The Rogue Hoe is unbeatable for speed in the garden. The Fiskars 4-claw weeder solves deep-rooted weeds for good. The Ergo hand weeder gives you precision in small spaces. Grampa's weeder makes the job comfortable if bending is an issue. And the WORX sweeper handles weeds where nothing else fits, between stones and cracks. Depending on your garden, one of these will match the problem you're facing. And once you've got the right tool, the job goes from frustrating to almost satisfying.